And that's when, a couple years previous to that, when like Paula's Orange and Rebecca Creek and Dripping Springs and Garrison and Treaty Oak and a bunch of us all got together. Yellow Rose. A lot of us got together and started the Texas Distilled Spirits Association.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how we were able to get a lot of laws changed. And in 2013, it became legal for us to have a tasting room, kind of like a winery. So, and then the breweries too, that happened
Right,
same
that's
time.
true,
I remember oh my gosh, we were overjoyed and the rejoicing.
Right,
And
that was an exciting time.
then we're all building tasting rooms. And so once that law passed and once we knew it was going to pass, we pulled the trigger and built this building, which is twice the size as the factory next door. So over half this building here is our Buccaneer bar and our extra space for a private room and for overflow and for the tours, and then the rest of the building back there has got more barrel storage and
because I
and
thought
bottles and
I thought there was actually some factory back there as well.
there's storage. There's
storage. So
finished product and most of my bottles.
Okay,
and then there's a lot of barrels over there too.
Okay,
so.
This has always been a party room or a private room over here.
For the tour room, and then we open it up and right now it's open up, but we kind of had to change things the way we do it because of occupancy. So our tour room is now kind of more like overflow, so we can have so we're gonna have to, and we can't do tours kind of like we did either, the big groups of people all in the room. You can't really do that, so we have to, we're still working on all that.
So you mentioned Rebecca Creek earlier, and I know there's still so much of this story, but I actually, when I was in college out in San Antonio at UTSA, I used to do some promotion work, and we actually worked with him a few times.
Good.
Back before he was even Rebecca Creek, when he was doing Enchanted Rock.
Yeah.
And so we were like back in his Enchanted Rock days. And
that was a vodka,
he used to actually show up to our parties. And
who was it?
I can't.
Was it Mike? Or
this was like 10 years ago. But he was the distiller, the owner. I mean, that does ring a bell. I couldn't name off his name now, but I did meet him a few times and hang out with him. He was really cool. And then, a few years later, Rebecca Creek. And I mean, look where they've come. So I kind of followed them a little bit, but I mean, I never ran back into him. But that's a cool story too. So.
Small world then, huh?
Yeah. Ranger Creek too. I was.
Ranger
I don't
Creek,
know anybody
Ranger
there,
Creek's
but
part of our association. Everything
we used
too,
to go there when they first opened.
Well, he's doing the whole brew.
Yeah, they're brewery
they started a brewery too. He started off with just whiskey, and then if you're making whiskey, you've got pretty much everything.
He was like the only one that was beer and.
I think he was the first one.
I was going there during those days. That was cool times.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, small world.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But it took. I mean, you guys started working together and like changing laws and.
Well, that's that's what's always been so impressive. Is literally the first time I came here. Like you said, you couldn't give samples, and now here, literally, it's a craft cocktail bar.
Yeah,
with live music, and and you fought for it the entire way.
Yeah,
I mean,
you had a vision,
and we're still fighting for it, y'all. Our rules are so whack; it's not even funny. You can only purchase 2 bottles per person every 30 days. We have to keep a log. I mean, it's just we can't sell on Sunday. There's so many rules that we can't have anything we don't make here. So I can't.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't buy wine or beer and wholesale and sell that. That's against the law. You can only have here what we make. So that's why.
Yeah.
That's why we went in and started making vodka and whiskey and a couple flavored products, so that we got a little bit of everything, a little something for everybody. Because some people only like sweet and some people only like this and. It's kind of like if you go to a winery, you notice that they'll have 20 different wines at the winery, but then you go to the liquor store, you go to the wine shop or the grocery store to buy that wine, and there's only a couple SKUs because that's their core items. So that's what they distribute out, but then they make a lot of other stuff, to kind of take care of everyone's tastes. And once the law changed, I'm like, we're making vodka now. And we started, and if I'm making vodka, that means I've got corn, that means we're making whiskey, and it was a couple years for the whiskey because I had to age, but we had vodka almost immediately.
Yeah,
and
tell us how it was the rum, and then how long until you got into and the years that did the other stuff.
Yeah, first you start off with a clear spirit. So we started off with our white rum because it doesn't need to be aged. Then we came out with our Reserve XO aged rum. Then our single barrel small cask aged rum, which is aged longer in a new barrel.
Okay.
And then we did blue agave. So we were the first folks in the state because tequila is big in Texas, Tex-Mex food and margaritas, and there were a handful of tequilas going around saying they were Texas tequilas, but they're made in Mexico, and it was a Texas marketing company. So I'm like, really? y'all want a Texas tequila? Well, let's see about really making one.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
so we researched that, and we started making. We can't call it tequila because
Right.
if it's actually physically made here, then we can't use that term.
It's not from Jalisco.
Yes, it's
yeah,
not
so-
in the tequila region,
Right.
so it's Champagne, Chianti,
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Scotch, whatever.
So
yeah.
yes, exactly. Scotch, bourbon's another
Yep,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
So we started.
A lot of them.
We thought, this is great. Mexico's not very far away. What would we have to do to secure some blue agave nectar to start making blue agave? And found a company and started ordering it, started making it, and man, it tastes great. It's
Right?
good stuff. So we did a Blanco first. I think that was probably in about 2009. So it was a long time ago. We started making the Blanco, then we branched out into the Reposado and the Añejo.
I was a Blanco man
Yeah.
forever, but now I feel like I've kind of upped my
Reposado-
palate a little bit. Yeah, I like the
Reposado.
Reposados. I have to say.
Reposado is great because you can sip it or
Yeah.
you can mix it. My
love
Añejo, that's for sipping. It's aged
Okay,
2.5, 3
sure.
years. I guess,
wow.
but it's a $50 bottle of booze, so you might not want to be mixing it in a
Yeah,
margarita. You might want to.
exactly.
You might want to.
You're not lining up shots of that stuff,
No.
Yeah, that's for sipping.
Now, when
right?
a lot of people do, they just shoot it. I'm like, no, that's a no. You can sip that. It's not
Yeah,
the
right.
lick the salt, make a face, shoot
The
it.
whole
and then
point of
eat
a
the
shot
lime.
is to get it down quick, right?
Yes,
yeah,
that's-
it's
you can sip any of my products. You don't
Yeah.
need to be shooting them. You can
Right.
you can totally sip them. So yeah. And then we started making the vodka and the whiskey in probably late 2013 when we knew the laws were changing. We started building the bar because we wanted to be because we only had handful of rums and a blue agave spirit or two, so we're kind of limited on the cocktails you can make.
Right.
So that's why we started getting the vodka
y'all make so
rolling.
many right now, so man.
13 products. So
Yeah, well,
yep.
just drinks. Meaning
Oh,
that
drinks.
you had to,
Oh,
you had to
gosh.
build
Yeah.
up the products so you could make this just
over-
ensemble of drinks that you're able to make here. I mean,
over
wow.
200 craft
Yeah.
cocktails, which I'm like, whose stupid idea was that?
But you make them all so
I'd
well.
like to talk to
yeah.
Kenny and James and Monica and whoever else over the years that, let's make some more cocktails. I'm like, y'all are killing me, man. I'm like,
It's a lot of variations, but a lot of different,
Yeah.
liquors and things.
Yeah, and there's
so,
there's a little something for everybody, no matter what kind of spirit you drink. And do you want sweet? Do you want not sweet? Do you want tiki drinks? Do you want you name it? We can, So, yeah.
And you've got the whole Pirates Guild where a lot of people have had all 200 drinks, correct? Or
Well, they haven't had all 200 because the drink list is 60 drinks.
Okay, that's
and then
right,
you
yeah.
graduate to the tiki list. So I don't know. There's probably it's not all the drinks on our menu. It's probably maybe 120.
Oh, just 120.
We'll have to be the first to do the whole thing.
Between all the different lists, but I'm sure there's people in here that literally have tried every cocktail because we get a lot of locals
Sure.
and a lot of people that come in. The same folks that come in,
Yeah.
so they try different stuff and so.
Yeah, it hit me at some point that I forgot to bring my Pirates Guild mug.
I know that's why
I know exactly where it is.
That's why I made your cocktails in a Raylene pint glass instead, and I thought fitting of you with your beer
Right?
history and everything. So that's
Thank
why.
you,
Yeah.
thank
Very
you.
cool.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying this. No, Jordan and I both
So
drank
yeah,
at the same time.
what are we drinking here? So
That's
this is
what we call a Texas Dark and Stormy.
Okay.
So it's not
Yeah.
your traditional Dark and Stormy because it's made with Raylene. So it's made with our Reserve XO aged rum,
Okay.
ginger ale, splash of bitters.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
garnished, you can garnish with an orange or a lime, either or. So, Yep.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite drink to mix? I mean, what do you?
I
guess it's probably fluid, right?
To
I mean,
make,
yeah, to
or
make,
to
yeah.
drink. For me to
Yeah,
drink,
right.
Either
or both.
both.
Well,
Both.
We
yeah.
can do both.
Let's do both.
Well, to make the most popular drink we make is going to be the Talk Like a Pirate rum punch.
Okay. Yeah.
I like to make drinks that don't have a lot of ingredients when we're busy.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So,
yeah.
when you're doing something like the bow-legged mermaid or a Long Island iced tea or what we call a Galveston iced tea or a turtle piss or something, those,
turtle piss.
5, 8, 9 ingredients. And you're like, wait a minute, does this get grenadine or does it get strawberry or, so... But some fun ones to make. The Galveston Island iced tea, that's a fun one to make. It's a strong drink. I like to make there's a drink called the Texas Scorched Margarita.
Ooh.
Just because it's one of my favorites. It's got cayenne pepper in it and a little bit of mango, and that's fun, and it's pretty because when you shake it up. Same with the painkiller, you put the fresh nutmeg on top of it.
Oh, nice.
So it's a good presentation. They're good presentations. And then Blue Maui, really pretty color blue. It's got a couple kinds of rum in it. It's got some coconut, some pineapple, some lime, and then a little blue curacao. So some sweet and sour. So it's got a real bright blue color to it. So again, people, they see that going on, oh, what's that? I want one of those, so.
I don't want to talk about how long I mispronounced curacao or whatever.
Caraco?
Yeah, I said it wrong for a long time.
It's okay.
I learned a while back, but yeah, it was a long time I said it wrong.
I have a feeling I did too in my 20s or so before. I
don't think it was until someone I knew had actually traveled there, and then they were like, wait a second, and I was like,
Caraco?
Okay, yeah, and then it all came together. Yeah.
It just hit me that if you come here, there's a good chance that the person mixing your drink is actually a master distiller, because at least two of you, you and the Kenny's over here.
Right now, that'd be
It's
pretty
100%,
much it. Yes,
100% chance. Yeah.
We have a couple of helpers. They have their TBC certs and stuff like that.
Sure.
But right now it's me and Kenny with everything going on. We lost a bartender.
Best of the best.
Yeah, well, it is, but it isn't. It's a lot of work for Kenny and I. We are also doing everything else.
Yeah.
But right now, pretty much it's Kenny and I and possibly a helper on a Saturday.
Yeah.
We had a bartender leave us before the holidays, and we did not replace that person because the other person wanted the full-time gig. So we did that, and then we had someone else leave for a different opportunity. Literally a week or two before COVID. So,
Before the world changed.
And it was and it's one of those things that at first I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? This is insane. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God that she moved on to something else. I'm like, oh my Lord. So it was good for everybody.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about obviously the COVID deal and how you're shut down, but the one thing that was impressed me is some of the creative ways that you kind of kept things going, and that's the home bartender scenario where
we will sell you a complete cocktail kit. Well, I've got y'all. I have 200 some cocktails. Do you know how many mixers I have back there? And do you know how much big jugs of pineapple juice and orange? We got a lot of stuff back there.
Yeah.
It's all going to go bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's all going to. So we put boxes together, and it was pick a cocktail off the menu, and we will
give
send
you
you
everything you need. Yeah,
and it makes a batch of cocktails. I mean, it's
nice.
It makes a large batch of cocktails.
See, I didn't know about this.
No, I thought that was kind of genius. Cool. I remember the post. It's
cocktail kits to go. We did mystery boxes where the box had a bottle or two of booze in it and had some other stuff in it, and whatever, it was X price, but it was worth more than that. So we did mystery boxes. We did that's yeah.
I remember
the gift shop. Come shop the gift shop. People get the gift shop. Oh yes, the gift shop is right there.
Everything
Come
you
on.
need.
Come on, y'all. It's a gift shop. There's a housewares there and glassware and ball caps and stickers and jewelry and
like I said, everything you need.
Clothing, some hats,
nautical flags, and lots of home decor, pirate and mermaid and parrot home decor. So.
I'm going to have to check that out before I get out of here.
Yeah, you need a shirt, man. You do.
Definitely.
Yeah, so.
No, but I thought that was great. I mean, obviously it was unfortunate that you had to do that, but I mean, just to get product, you already had all this product that you had.
At least we could still do that. People could still come in and buy bottles to go and buy like a cocktail kit to go. We couldn't make drinks. People were like upset about that, but we weren't included on that because we're a distillery. We weren't a restaurant selling food to go, so we couldn't do the drinks to go. And I don't think we'll ever be able to do that. That's probably something again with the 51% and the the short straw on that. I don't see that changing for us. The drinks to go.
Yeah, even for the restaurants, that was kind of nobody really knew what the rule for a long time. I mean,
how that was going to work,
or what actually was the rule.
Yeah. Because they gave like, okay, here's what you can do, and then we didn't think of that, and then some people were doing X, Y, and Z, and like no, we didn't mean you could. So they
gray areas, loopholes.
We are still getting. I mean, we all still get anyone with licenses like us get emails pretty much on a daily basis from TABC, where someone finds a way around something and they, oh no, this is you could, but no, not then they keep adding to what you can and what you can't.
Addendums and
We're going to add another bullet point to that one because folks are doing X, and that's really not what we intended when we said you could do this. So
it's crazy that laws and warnings are created because people have devised these ways. I mean, usually there's somebody smarter. They're just catching up and cutting it off, right? I mean, so that's how laws are created sometimes.
And I think a lot of this. I mean, it's not good, and I'm not glad it happened, and I'm not, of course not. But it's kind of, I think, maybe shown the powers that be that there are cracks in this 3-tiered system somewhat, and not every, when certain things happen, because they would tell us, well, just start doing internet sales. I'm like, well, we can't, it's illegal.
Right.
Same with beer, we'll just sell it. No, you guys can't. You can't well, do like the wineries do and start a wine club. And like, well, we can't do that. The laws are different, and so I think that is a good thing. And I think it's really been good to how we can differentiate between what makes a winery, brewery, distillery somewhere that's, because this is more of a tourism and a marketing tool. That's really what our tasting rooms are. I mean, that from, it's a tool to get people to try your stuff so that when they're back home,